Hi, my name is Emma Schaefer. I am a junior. My major is communication studies with my concentration in organizational communication. I am from Pendleton area and I've lived here most of my life. It's only like 35 minutes away. Outside of school, I would like to do non-for-profit work, ideally like long-term goal is I'd like to move to Latin American countries to help provide healthcare in impoverished areas for women and children. I'm taking this class because it's required for my major, obviously, but also I think it is a really good class that kind of pertains to what I want to do past or once I get out of schooling. So I think it will work really well for me long term. Sorry, I had to make a little cheat sheet because there's a lot of questions. Who do I look up to most? I would say growing up, the person I looked up to most was my dad. He's a very hardworking man, and he's kind of like a rough and tough dude. He can like fix anything. He really can. It's kind of amazing. And he's extremely smart, and he always helped me with my homework and things like that. He was really interactive and great dad. And who do I look up to most now? Obviously still my dad, but also my grandma, my dad's mom. She's just one of the most like caring and compassionate people that I've ever met in my life. Everything she does for others and to give back to the community and her family, which means a lot to me. One of my proudest accomplishments, I would say, is being a part of Camp Kesem. Camp Kesem is a non-for-profit student organization, and we have chapters all throughout the U.S. Our chapter at Ball State, obviously, it's pretty new. This will be our fourth year. It's a really amazing organization that hosts week-long summer camps for kids who've been affected by their parents' cancer. And we fundraise and do different events all throughout the school year because we send the kids to camp completely free. It's a really amazing organization, and it was a big accomplishment for me to be selected to be a counselor to go. And this year I am going to try to be on the cord board, so that's pretty exciting. My community, so Pendleton is a relatively small area. I would say maybe a quarter of the size of Muncie in population. It's financially speaking, it is quite a nice area. We have a lot of small businesses in our downtown rural community. We also have some areas of families that aren't as well off financially, but overall it's kind of what people might consider like a yuppity area. But what I really like about Pendleton is that there's kind of like a great mix of like hippies and like yuppities, so like it keeps it cool but still like interesting stuff around. The things I really value about my community is that even though it's an area that doesn't really have a ton of issues with poverty and things like that, we have a lot of areas around the community where we do a lot of really great work. One of the things I really admire is there's this place called Outfitters just outside of downtown that all the kids that apply for the free and reduced lunch programs can come twice a year, so at the beginning of summer and the beginning of winter, and get 7 free outfits, including everything they need, just based on their financial need. And I think it's a really great opportunity to give the kids in the community something that they legitimately need. If there's something that I could change about my community, I wish that we had, this may sound crazy to someone that's from like a larger area, but more roundabouts. We have too many stop signs. It slows things down. I don't know if that counts as something as part of my community necessarily, but the area that I live. I would consider myself a leader. A lot of people have told me that they think that I'm a silent leader, so I'm not necessarily the person that has to be the loudest one or in front of the whole crowd, but I'm very comfortable working kind of behind the scenes, making sure things are working on more of like a logistic level. But yeah, ever since I was little, and I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, we had to write a paper of what we wanted to be when we were older, and I wrote mine that I wanted to be a dictator. Looking back, that was kind of concerning, I think, but also kind of an indicator of my potential to be a leader. Um, my first memory of working in a group, I would say, is probably around 4th grade when I joined the volleyball team. I think that was probably, I'm sure I had a lot of interactions working in a group before that, but that's like my first concrete memory. I remember that I loved working with a group then. Like, I love being a part of a team, especially a sports team, because there is like a sense of pride of the thing that you're doing, as well as you are all bonded over something that you love, and you're all working together to accomplish a goal, which is basically what all groups essentially are doing. The group, another like an instance of working with a group I've had more recently, my freshman year, 2 years ago, I took a theater class. It's just one of my electives, and basically the whole semester was leading up to a big group project that we did at the end of the year, and it was like a group of 7 or 8 of us, and it's not good. There's always those group projects where it ends up like 1 or 2 people end up doing all of the work, and I am unfortunately always one of the 1 or 2 people that ends up doing all the work, just because I care more about getting a good grade on something rather than trying to fight with people to get their work done. So that was not a very great experience. And my ultimate goal long term is I'd like to open my own non-for-profit one day down the road. So thanks.